Yo, what's happening, YouTube? Yeah, I know this is a different scenario right here. I'm not in the garden, I'm not in the office. Where I am, I'm in the kitchen. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm cooking homemade dog food for my dogs. I'm going to show you what I use, the ingredients, how much they love it. I haven't really shown anyone this before. This is what I do. So, yeah, follow the journey. Probably last time you might see my face in the video, maybe at the end. Basically, you're just going to see shots of just chopping, my voice, the meats, what I put in, etc, etc, etc. Yeah? Alright then, guys. Okay, guys, so we cooking. Basically, today, got beef. 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 This is beef mince, by the way. That's beef mince right here. And then, I've diced up some carrots already and some broccoli, as you can see here. I'm gonna boil these carrots and the broccoli. What you do is boil the carrots first because they're harder. So when you boil that, once it gets a bit soft, then chuck the broccoli in there because the broccoli doesn't take too long to boil. We've got the mince. We're going to cook up the mince first. We also have in here, let me get this out for you guys. Hang on. We got the organ meats in here. That's what we have in here. Come on. I got these from the butchers. So I've got in here, I got liver, I got some lungs, and I got some heart. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's the thing right here. The organ meat's got a lot of nutrition in there, which is why I'm mixing it with the beef mince. So I'm going to fry this up right now. You don't need to season this, innit, because it's not for us, it's for the dogs. So what I'm going to do is wait for it to get a bit hot. Furthermore, let me start boiling the carrots. If you want to know how I chopped it up, I'll just do a quick demonstration right now on how I chop up the carrots, just in case you guys don't know. If you guys want to try the recipe, I suggest you do. Basically, got the carrot here, chop it, so I've chopped it, that, cut in half, 1, 2. So that's it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you just circle, cut across like that, and then Bob's your uncle. That's it like that. With the broccoli now, it's here. Broccoli's easy. You just break up into little bits. It doesn't take long. That's it there. Oh, drop some. So, I've boiled the kettle now. Let me show you guys real quick. That's it right there. Let that. Oh, wrong one there. Right now it's fired up. Let that do its thing. Yeah? Yeah, so that's it there. Carrots boiling. Let's start off with the meat. Chuck the mince in. I'll probably add a little bit of water just so it doesn't really burn too much. Beef mince. So I got one from the butchers. That's from the butchers, and I got this from Sainsbury's. Because then I realised it wasn't enough, so I had to go to Sainsbury's and get it. Doesn't matter. It's all the same. Beef is beef. Slap that in there. It's quite a bit still. And you just mash it. Get that, mash it up. Even though it's mince, just mash it. I'm going to lower the heat, it's a bit high. It will give its own water residues from like the fat when you're cooking it, but I'll just add a bit in there anyway. Just so it doesn't burn the pot too much. Just add a bit of water in there. Just like that. Just like that. It's calm. So we be cooking it, keep mashing it, and just, now you can put the heat up a bit because you've got a bit of water in there so it's not going to burn the bottom too much. And I like doing it this way, just mashing it up a bit, even though it's already minced like I said before. Mash up and just keep rotating it. So you can put the the cooker on really high when it's like that, because obviously you keep rotating it for a bit. And then you just leave it. Get the lid on it. Leave it for a bit. We've got the organ meats here. So when I go to the butchers, these are one of them halal butchers. So there's no pork in there, this is just beef. So this is beef organs as well. And I just get them to chop up. So if you go there, just ask them, tell them you want some organ meats. It comes with, this is like, they call it plugs. So this comes with the liver, the lungs and the heart, that whole respiratory section. And that's what I'm using here. So I'll just take a quick handful of this. And you just chuck it in. Just chuck it in. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not really going to smell nice. That's the truth. It'll smell nice for them, but it's not going to smell nice for us, because like I said, there's no seasoning in here. You got no seasoning. And you don't have to use all your organ meats in there, but I've just got a good handful here. Always remember to wash your hands when dealing with raw meat. That's paramount. Mix it up. I mean, the guy is cutting it, but some pieces are a little bit big. But you can kind of break it with the spatula anyway. This is just a normal wok. You can use a pot, put it in there and stew it in there. I said stew it. Cook it in there. I'm too used to cooking stews. Technically, you could say this is a stew as well. This little meat stew. Mix it around. Mix it around. It's heavily meat based. But you must remember, dogs are carnivores, you know what I mean? You can put some carbs in there. I do sometimes, but what I do with this though, this is like the meats with the veg, and then what I'll do is I'll just put a bit of that with their dry dog food, just to spice up their dog food, because it's just dry. And you mix it together, you love it. They love it. So right, yeah, that's it. Let it cook. Check on your carrots. You don't want it to be too cooked before you put the broccoli in there. I'd say it's doing okay. I'm gonna see, because of the ratio of the carrots, the broccoli and the meats, I've got quite a bit more meat, so I'm gonna add a little bit more broccoli in there. The carrots seem alright, but the broccoli looks a bit small for my liking. So I'm just gonna quickly chop that up. Be careful when cutting. Some people do a raw diet. Some people do a cooked diet. Some people do both. Some people just do dry. Some people just do wet food from the supermarket. I like to do a mixture of everything, to be honest. I feel like, why limit yourself? Nutrition is nutrition. But some of the dry dog food, I'm not gonna lie, they are quite crap. That's the truth. You don't know what's in there. And I've read some of the back of them. I had to Google the words, and the words, even when Google was telling me, still didn't make sense to me. So yeah, I'm not really like some of the dry dog food. The one I use is wheat-free, grain-free. Whatever your dog can stomach, and it doesn't upset it, try that. But I'd always recommend, if you can cook your own, it's cooked, I'd recommend try and use that. That's the best, because you know what you're giving your dog at that point, compared to just always hoping for the best with the dog food. But there is some good dog food out there, especially some of the wet ones. There's some really good ones, but I just think some of them are just a bit pricey, you know. It's a bit pricey. I get it though. I get why it's pricey, because obviously it's good. Even it smells nice. Sometimes even you want to have a little taste. However, this is pretty cheap. The mince cost me £10. The organ meats, £2.50 for that whole bag, you know. Whole bag, £2.50. And then the veg, let me not get started. Everyone knows how much these vegetables cost. They're cheap. Pack of carrots, 50p. Broccoli, I think broccoli was like how much was it? I think like 69p a stalk. So it really is, it's cheap. So all in all, it's £12.50. If I was to get this in tin form, bruh, that would be like probably like £40. Because I remember I did look at one, and I was looking at the weight, then I was looking at what was in it. It was a really good one. Don't want to mention the brand. It was coming across like, I think it was like 30, £40. And I was like, wow, it's pricey. I get it, but it's a bit too pricey for me when you could just make your own and you know what's in there. So yeah, just mix it around. It does smell a bit peaky, you know, I'm not gonna lie. There's these organs, they smell, innit? The beef is not too bad, but the liver, the heart, but it's good. Because the dogs love it. Just a mix. Chop that in there. Just get underneath, dig deep. Right underneath there. That's it. And now you can see the juices coming out. Yeah, I did add water, but the juices are coming out as well, which is good. Because it gives almost like a gravy type feel. I'm not gonna lie, the ratios are just a little bit random in terms of the organs I put in there. Like I'm looking at it now. It looks alright, it's just a bit big. The guy cut it a bit too big, so you can kind of mash it in there if you want. So once it gets to like a good looking brown, it's cooked. I mean, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to overdo it, you know what I mean? Because you cook it so much and so long, you're just going to just burn off all the nutrition in there anyway. There'll still be some, but you don't want it flipping burnt now, do you? So yeah, let that cook, right? Check on the veg, see what the veg is saying. Yeah, veg is doing alright, I'm not gonna lie. Got a bit of a crunch to it, carrots, broccoli's alright. Yeah, it's good, it's good, it's good. Veg done. Now it's not hard to do, this is not hard to do. Bloody 3-year-old could do this. So, not the cutting part, just the mixing. So right now I'm gonna just, obviously I boiled this with water, so you don't want to pour the water in, you don't want it to be too much. What you do, you just can use a fork or use anything like sieve related and just put the veg in. So now, and then you can see how much water is in there currently, and you can decide if you want to add a bit more of the vegetable juice in there, or the liquid that you used. That's it there. You say it looks good though, innit? It looks good. But hey, chuck a bit of seasoning in there, get a bit of pasta, that's all me. Nah, I'm playing. But yeah, it looks good. So we mix it. You can see there's quite a good ratio of meat and veg in there. So what I'm gonna do is now, what's that? That's a big piece there, you know. Yeah, the piece is big. I mean, if you want to, you can, when it's cooled down, the big pieces of the organ meats, you can just literally just break it down a bit more. So I've mixed it enough. I'm not gonna lie, this looks good. Mix it enough. Chuck this on there. Lower the heat. Give it about 2 minutes. No, hold on. I don't want to tell you 2 minutes because it might not be 2 minutes, but just come back and check on it. Make sure everything looks all kind of a brown colour. And yeah, good to go. Yeah, so I left it a couple of minutes and it's done. That is it. Give a good mix, you can see. Looks good, healthy. Got some veg in there, organs. Got the beef mince, all good. Turn it off. Now, you want it to cool down. So take the lid off. Let this puppy cool down. And that's it. I'll show you the dogs eating it once it's all cooled down. And yeah, simple, effective, cheap, £12.50. I store them in containers, little Tupperware containers, and you can just add it to the dogs. Dry food, and yeah. I think of it like this. Think it like this. Think of this is like the sauce and the gravy, and the dry dog food is rice. You chuck that, dump it on there, mix it, boom, good to go. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching.